What is it?
YNW.
YNW?
Yeah.
What's YNW stand for?
Yeah. World.
We need you to be straight up with us and tell us where this happened. Okay? My understanding, you told these officers something, but the evidence doesn't show that it happened there. You may or may not know. If you knew who did this, would you tell me? It's either a yes or no question. Answer.
With YNW Melly's trial ending in mistrial, sources are now sharing new parts of the YNW Portland interrogation on the night of the crime, including an O-Block member revealing something that we never even knew. On October 26, 2018, while driving home from the recording studio, YNW Melly, Portland, Sack Chaser, and Juvie ran into a little issue, where YNW Portland alleges a vehicle filled with rival street members pulled up to the side of their vehicle, using items against the Jeep they were driving in out of jealousy.
Let's talk about why. Are you having issues with anyone?
I mean, we are upcoming artists and stuff, so people like, you know, when you like start doing better than people, they start hating and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So you had some jealousy issues.
Yeah, it's like jealousy issues. But gotten it, I haven't really been on there. But like he like my friend that's way now, God bless. He was telling me like, right, he always was telling me about how people, just like today, he was telling me some folks from up our way.
What's up your way?
Like Vero
Beach?
Like that's where I used to stay. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up there. So that's our hometown. You know what I'm
So
saying?
what did your friend say about from Vero Beach? What was he saying to you?
He was saying basically just like, they go on like Instagram, Facebook, like.
This was never revealed during the YNW Melly trial. However, it does relate to an interview 100K Track did during the Melly trial, where he answers the question of why he believes it was a drive-by.
Who would want Melly and his friends? Did anybody ever him and the other guys before this happened? You know, Portland said this was a drive-by.
When you in the limelight and you're making money and things like that, you're gonna receive hate. You're gonna receive, things from everywhere, from people you know, people you don't know, people who probably feel obligated or feel, entitled to things, people who might not even know you from the campaign and just don't like you. So, as an entertainer, your life is always, being somebody or someone.
Around the time of the crime happening, YNW Melly's music career was starting to take flight. Continuing to record at the local recording studio, it is very possible someone could have known the location of YNW Melly at the time of the crime. At the same time of the crime occurring, YNW Melly was also being recruited by 3 street teams according to cell phone evidence shown inside of the courtroom. However, 100K Track gets into more detail about if it was a drive-by and who could have done it.
Portland said this was a drive-by. Have you ever thought about who would have done something like this?
It would have been, it would have been so much people, you know what I'm saying? Like, not would have been, it could have been so much people, because like at the end of the day, this man was like, had jewelry, had a large sum of money and things like that, and don't know where it could have came from, but I do know it came from somewhere, and maybe one day we'll use our resources to find out who really did it and bring justice to
the answer of knowing that YNW Melly had cash and jewelry on him at the recording studio could easily be a valid reason for somebody wanting to target him. As Florida is known to be a high crime area, knowing a group of rappers are sitting at a local recording studio with stacks of cash, including diamond jewelry, is a golden ticket for many street members. However, later on in the YNW Portland interrogation, the officer would then go to ask, if you know who did it, would you tell me?
By just telling me the truth, even if it's something that I don't want to hear, but I respect the truth rather than BS, okay? And it's a simple question. If you knew who did this, okay? You may or may not know. If you knew who did this, would you tell me? It's either a yes or no question. Answer.
Honestly.
Yeah, honestly. The truth. You wouldn't?
Because I wouldn't want to be a part of that. I wouldn't want to be
where YNW Melly doesn't even answer the question by using his voice, giving a yes or no. Instead, he actually shakes his head side to side. This is because if it was YNW Melly who did it, which obviously he would know that, saying no to the officer's question could have then caused his voice to crack or even be in a different pitch than the regular voice volume that he's been using throughout the entire interrogation. This is due to him lying. This then would have been an obvious indicator to the police that Bortlen knows a lot more than what he's sharing. The police officer would then want more details of the in-moment actions that were made during the drive-by. How was Bortlen driving? Did he crash into anything? Did he see any faces or license plates, etc.?
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about some shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there, there's gotta be some evidence there. There's gonna be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here from when you guys open the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's gonna be broken glass over there when the windows got shut out. There's gonna be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's gonna be stuff, evidence over there. Okay, right now, there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
With YNW Bortlen explaining to the officer the actions that he was making, it was very clear the officer was not buying it, as the officer states that he believes he knows what happened, but doesn't want to say it. This is due to the Jeep that they were driving in not looking like a regular vehicle that has gone through a drive-by. Even Sergeant Williams would reveal, after investigating the car, there's no way this could have been a drive-by.
Assignment, which is to determine if this is a drive. And my determination was that this is not a drive-by, and it's based upon this picture here, which is a very good picture to describe it. All of these rounds are done. One is done at a stationary position. At a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here, the actually moving in that to create the little bit of a that you see there.
Okay, a lot of information in that answer, so let's break it down a little bit. You mentioned so I'm gonna zoom in on site F.
He took note of every single hole that was inside of the car and then used what is known as the stick method to find out how the holes were created, also including the direction of where it could have came from, as all angles showed YNW Melly's seat of the car.
Number, you said 17 outside the car. How many rounds were inside of the car?
3.
And can you exclude the for Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas as coming from outside of the car?
Yes. From the driver's side back seat.
As to the shot that was Christopher Thomas, where did that come from?
Driver's side back seat.
No. Is it possible for there to have been 2 inside that car?
No.
Why not?
There is no time.
With Sergeant Williams guaranteeing that the crime must have happened from the person in the back left seat of the vehicle, we would then see YNW Juvie's mother called to the stand during trial, where she would confirm who was sitting where inside of the Jeep.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the victims in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Positive 21915. Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Mm-hmm.
And is that a yes?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Jamel.
And Jamel, is that the defendant, Jamel Demons?
Yes, ma'am.
With the jury hearing the crime must have happened from inside of the vehicle, alongside YNW Juvie's mother revealing where YNW Melly was seated, we would then even see YNW Juvie's father reveal he believed YNW Melly was guilty since the beginning.
From the day one, I believe that Melly was responsible for my son on October 26th when I first heard the story, because his explanation when I finally talked to him and Cortland on a FaceTime, their response and how they was reacting, they showed no remorse. They didn't act like they was grieving, like they lost a best friend or nothing. They was, in my opinion, they was in the best spirits. They wasn't reacting to, they act like they didn't have take a loss at all. That's how I took it. And then when I was talking to them, I still had in the back of my mind that something's not right.
However, recently more interesting news would come out against YNW Melly since his trial ended. This would be coming from O Block resident Jay Hood, a friend of King Von, where he would reveal something unexpected during an interview. King Von may have mentioned a little too much to a group of people that were located in O Block, as Jay Hood would reveal it all.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
Where he would reveal that YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie were allegedly going after YNW Melly daily for financial gain and trying to get the most amount of money out of him. Now, you want to fully believe Jay Hood, as if you know anything about King Von, he never lied when it came to street stuff. He also made a song with YNW Melly titled Rolling, and they were really good friends. It wouldn't be too surprising if YNW Melly may have shared a secret or two with King Von. To further prove they were really good friends, there's even the famous video of Dirk and King Von on the phone with YNW Melly while he was inside of jail.
Bust, you got 10 piece. Bust harder than mine. It's me. It's y'all. I say, you got 10 piece. What's wrong?
It'll now become very interesting if the new interview with Jay Hood stating to the world that YNW Melly did it will be getting used in the upcoming YNW Melly trial, as the prosecution is looking for more evidence to use.
It is confirmed YNW Melly will be tried by prosecutors in Florida for double again in front of a new jury. Prosecutors in Broward County going out of their way to let it be known there's a status hearing coming up on Friday, but they went ahead and over the weekend contacted NBC6 and told them that yes, we do intend to try Melly again for double. Now, the questions that hopefully will be answered at this Friday's upcoming status conference: one, when is that trial going to happen? There's a co-defendant trial who's set to go forward. When in relation to the trial will this trial be? Number two, will Melly get a bond pending his new trial? I'm sure his lawyer is going to push that very hard. And then we'll see, number three, are there going to be any changes to the evidence? Is either side going to seek to introduce new evidence, introduce new witnesses? Will all of the witnesses who were available last time be available this time? We will learn more this Friday to see what's next in the saga of the YNW Melly double trial.
As the existing evidence that is already being used against Melly is concerning, as the lead detective in his case would go on to reveal a very important text message to the world of YNW Melly admitting to doing the crime.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
And could you please stand and point on the right side of the screen exactly which part you're saying where the YNW Melly account says, "I did that"?
I did that. This is the thread ID. This is the text. This is the author. And this is the recipient. Then you come down here, same thing. The ID is for the actual message, which is just specific that one message, then the thread ID is the actual continuing message.
For more context, after the passings in 2018, somebody would message YNW Melly on Instagram asking, "Hey, are you okay? Tell me something," which is when YNW Melly literally replied, "I did that," with a happy face emoji. As while this was being shared within the courtroom, YNW Melly was seen covering his face, looking embarrassed. However, it's the next piece of text message evidence that kind of relates to the Bortland interrogation, where we would see incriminating messages between Melly and his girlfriend at the time if you read through the lines.
Moving on to Friday, November 9th, 20 UTC 2018. Message from Melly Montana to, again, that baby. What does that one say?
You don't with me anyways. I peeped it. You can slide, but God knows I wasn't in her and real breaking. You spoiled everything was given to you. You act like a some slide. I keep Borton with cuz at the
with YNW Melly stating that he will remain loyal to Bortland all the way until the end, as Bortland did one of the realest things in his life for him and would never switch up. After hearing the interrogation, it really makes you wonder what that could be. However, also on YNW Melly's phone was a confession to turning himself in.
There's also video number 1, 2, 3, 4. And in that video, Mr. Demons uses a term that I don't want, that I think will be inflammatory, and on 403 grounds we would object. It refers.
Play it again.
Sure. Hello, so everybody. This is real footage. My name is Melly, and I'm gonna turn myself in. But I'm in a suitcase because they arrested me, and I had to get on a private jet, and I don't want them to see me.
After investigating YNW Melly's cell phone for several hours, they would notice that Melly saved a Facebook Live link. A report would go on to share the Stranger Things jacket YNW Melly is wearing in this video just hours after the crime is the same one Juvie had on when they left the studio early on that morning. YNW Bortland is wearing the one Sack Chaser had on too.
You see him? Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned. Regardless of what happened, you already know.